What's up, guys? I am Tara with Tara Simon Studios, and we have my amazingly talented, fabulous Coach Nikki here today. And today we're going to be doing Ad-Libs 101. This is a highly requested topic, and we decided that we're going to tackle it today for you guys. Nikki, tell us about Ad-Libs for you. What does that mean to you?
Ad-Libs is partly emotional, but also partly like building up the ambience of the song. So it's like, it makes you feel it. Mm-hmm. It pulls you into it, and it kind of takes you away from the words into the melody a little bit more.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely more spiritual. It's coming from within. It's more improv, right? Ad-libs, which is why most of you feel like it's so daunting, because you don't feel like you have that creativity inside of you. You have to rely on someone else's. But today we're going to show you that that is absolutely not true, and it just takes a little bit of foresight, a little bit of head knowledge to be able to anticipate chord progressions enough to be able to make your own melodic line on top of it. So we're going to get right into it. We're going to use an example today. We're going to use the Someone to Love. Is that the title of it?
I think so.
Yeah. We're going to use a chorus from this song. It's really popular right now, and we're going to sing the chorus, but then afterwards, we're going to stop, and I'm going to break down, based on the chord progression, what I would probably do, or some examples of what I would do for ad-libs, and Nikki's going to do the same. And they're not the same between person to person, because what's in my head is not what's in Nikki's head, what's not in your head. It doesn't mean it's wrong, it just means it's a different choice, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
It's always going to be different.
It's always going to be different. We just don't want it to be dissonant, really, against the chords, or if it is dissonant and it's a cool, interesting choice, you always want to resolve. And we're going to talk about that too. So here's the chorus. You want to sing it? You know the words?
Yeah.
Okay. Nikki's going to sing, because I'm not sure if I know all of them. 1 and 2 and 3. When the day bleeds into night falls, if you're not here to get me through it all, I let my guard down and you pull the rug. I was getting kind of used to being someone you love. Good. So that's the structure, right? Beautiful. Thank you, my lovely assistant. So that's the structure of the song, right? You know that because you hear it. It's on the radio. It's everywhere. And that is what is the structure of the song. But the chords stay the same, okay? So it's just the... So you've got major, major, minor, kind of sad sounding chord, and then it resolves again to major, okay? And you may not be able to classify those, but you can definitely feel them. You definitely hear something's different when you go to here, okay? So you have the feel of the chord progression, you know what the melody was, and now you can do one of two things. You can choose to sing a vamp of a little snippet of the lyrics, like Someone You Loved, and just repeat that phrase, or you can go into oohs and ahs or nas or whatever kind of like scat vowel you want to choose. And I'm going to let you just go for that. Okay, so I'll give you a chord progression for nothing, and then Nikki's just going to ad-lib whatever comes out of her sweet little spirit. Yeah. Great. She's good at that. Throw it out at you, and we don't know what happens. It's not rehearsed. No idea what's going to come out. She doesn't either. Do you know?
I don't.
Don't know. It's so exciting. Okay, here we go. So chord progression for nothing. She chose a couple phrases. She did all three. She's an overachiever, you know, that's why she's my coach. She did, I let my guard down, you know, she chose that as something, a phrase that was important to her. And then she did Someone You Loved. And then she went into an O, right? Which is very expressive, very emotive. And you'll find, this happens to Nikki, this happens to me, it's going to happen to you. Don't be scared if when going to these ad-libs, these places that are completely improv, don't be scared and feel bad if you get off pitch for a little bit, okay? Because as we move through melody that's literally just coming out, we're tuning it as we go, and we really don't even know where we're going. There's no map, there's no point of reference for what we're creating, and so pitch will wax and wane a little bit. And as you practice it, it will get better. And I'm sure you can hear, like, as Nikki added on more and more to the chord progression, had more time, she locked into her kind of style of that vamp too, and her pitch locked in as well. So I'm going to give you an example of maybe something that I would do now. I'll sing the lyrics if I cannot screw them up, and then we'll do an ad lib after that. And then I'm going to give you guys a couple, like, hey, if you're really scared of creating something, here's a couple go-tos that you can just do and get comfortable and familiar with, and maybe you can add to them as you get comfortable, so that you're not just left with hearing us and being like, that's great, but I have no idea how you did that. We're going to give you a couple at the end to show you how to at least start it. So make sure you watch all the way to the end. Here we go. When the day breathes.
Day breaks.
Okay. When the day breaks and the night falls and you're not here to get me through it all, I let my guard down, then you pull the rug. I was getting kinda used to being someone you love, someone you love, someone you love. Oh, right? So I can warm my way into different registers. I think I kind of did a little bit of what Nikki did, like I chose lyrics and then I chose some oohs. But as you do it, it just kind of grows on you, and you sort of like, as you're in one of the ad libs, you're kind of thinking of what it makes sense to go with next, and then based on that, where you want to go next, and it just sort of snowballs, right? So you're probably like, thanks a lot, Tara, Nikki, that's great, because I'm not even like anywhere near there. That's fine. Here's a couple quick tricks that you can use to get yourself started. Okay, so if you're finished, I was getting kinda used to being someone you loved. Just do someone you love, someone you loved, someone you loved, someone you loved, and just try to continue to repeat that and match the chorus. Yes, drop that jaw. Right, someone you love, and you don't even have to run with it. It can still be like melodic without runs. Someone you loved, someone you loved, someone you loved, someone you loved. Or you can do it on ooh. Oh, 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 oh. And sometimes the simplest, ad libs like that are the most anthemic, the most sing-alongable,
Yeah.
and the hookiest, and that's what ends up on the track. Like that's what ends up someone like you singing along to it by the end of the day once it's mastered and on the radio, which is interesting. Like a lot of the vocal acrobatics, it's just too busy, and it's not what the lay person would be able to emulate or to resonate with, and so that gets stuck like way back in the mix in the rafters. But the thing that is super hooky and really simple ends up getting the play, right? So there's nothing wrong at all with literally going to da 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 and leaving it there. If you watched our riffing tutorial, you can also do a 3-note run. You could do oh, and practice that 3-note run. Oh, and notice how no matter what chord progression I do, I can still sing that same line. Okay, so it's about choosing where you are in the chord progression as well, in the key that you're in. You can also do a 3-note run going up. Oh, do it, Nikki.
I went down.
Yeah, you did. Oh,
I'm feeling it.
oh, stop feeling it so much. Oh, keep going, guys. Come on. Oh, oh. So something like that will work work too. Okay, now we're gonna do a couple more riffing videos eventually, and I'm gonna teach you how to do more than a 3-note riff. If you've mastered the 3-note, then that one, the 4, and so on is coming. But I just wanted to break it down for you. Like this, literally, these last 2 where we just vamped the words and we just did the 3-note runs, that's where it starts, guys. Don't think that like we just came out, you know, as babies in diapers doing these runs, okay? That's not the case. And I know a lot of you guys think that, like, oh, you know, you're just born knowing how to. That's not true. I did not know how to run when I was younger. In fact, I was trained for Broadway, so I was trained to, like, stick your note, do vibrato at the end, and end it. Like, breathe in, and that's it. Like, done. But I started listening to Mariah Carey and Whitney Houston and Christina Aguilera, and I grew up on them, and so then I was completely influenced and I practiced their runs. I emulated them first, right? And then I took courage into myself and I said, you know what, I'm going to go and try to make my own, even if it's just modifying what they did or creating a difference in the tail end, right? Is that the same for you?
Exactly the same. Like you're driving in the car and you're listening to the song and, oh, I dare just, you know? And then the more that you do that, though, the more confident you are. Like, okay, that's my style. I like to do that. I can do that on that song. And the more songs you do that on, the more comfortable you get to be able to do it on any song or on a random on camera.
Yes, 100% snowball effect. Okay, so all this to say, you can do ad-libs, you can do runs. It's not out of your reach. Just take baby steps. Don't go being like, oh, I can't do this Mariah Carey run, so I stink and I'll never be able to do it. No, like just try these little steps first. Gain the confidence. Let it be cumulative. Let it be a snowball effect for you like it was for us, because we're telling you, we're not lying. This is exactly what happened for us, and you can do it too. So guys, check out the description box below. There's tons of links that further support your vocal journey there. Coach Nikki and I, we love you. We're proud of you. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.